Hello and welcome back to Fallout 76. Once again, I'm at the Rusty Pick, ready to spend some legendary scrip. We are once again going after ranged weapons. I am going to buy 25 of them, which means 2,500 legendary scrip. Hopefully I get something interesting out of it. Let's get started. All right, here we go. Number one, we are going to get a Hunter's Gatling Laser with last round and chance to generate a stealth field. This is about as bad a combination of effects as you're going to find. Stealth field on a weapon like this, well, stealth field on any weapon is useless, but on something like this, even the idea of it is stupid. Last round on something that holds 500 is, there's really not a lot of point to that. And enemy specific, especially against animals, you just don't need bonus damage against animals. So yeah, we're starting off with heavy scrip. Next up, we've got a Ghoul Slayer's Flamer with damage while aiming and Stealth Field again. Yeah, Stealth Field sucks. I wish they would just remove it from the loot pool. Damage while aiming. I tend to use these hip firing, but you could actually aim it really easily and get a little bit of extra damage. And these actually do really nice damage, but you don't need damage against ghouls. You don't need extra damage. They're very squishy and they would go down even if this was non-legendary. So this is also scrip. At this point, I just want something without that Stealth Field effect. And we got it. Junkie's Radium Rifle with bullets explode and VATS critical charge. This is actually pretty good. If you are playing Junkies, which I am not, you can get bonus damage up to 50%. Bullets explode is always fun, and VATS critical charge, more critical hits is always a good thing too. So this could actually be, for someone who plays Junkies, this could actually be really good. Next on the list, we've got a Nocturnal Black Powder Pistol with limb damage and 90% reduced weight. I'm not a fan of weight reduction on pistols, you just don't need it. Limb damage, these are pretty hard hitting, so I think typically you want to go for a kill, so limb damage, not something I'm typically interested in. And Nocturnal is bonus damage only half the time, so I'm going to pass on this one. Next, we've got a Nocturnal Railway Rifle with critical damage and damage resist while aiming. Critical damage is good, and Railway Rifles are good in general, but again, we've got the Nocturnal effect, which only gives us bonus damage half the time. I'm just not a fan of that. And damage resist while aiming. You're going to use this is a VATS weapon for sure. I'm sure some people use it manually aiming with the short barrel, but most people are going to use this in VATS, and so that third star is going to do nothing. Next, we've got a Juggernaut's Gatling Laser with, can't even talk today, 25% damage while aiming and +1 perception. That third star is not going to do anything on a weapon like this. Damage while aiming, that's going to be good. You're either going to manually aim this or hip fire it, so manually aiming an extra 25% damage. Juggernauts, if you're playing full health, an extra 25% damage can be good. I don't tend to like that effect because as you take damage, your damage bonus goes down. However, you're going to be playing power armor with this most of the time, which means you're going to be pretty tanky. So in this case, Juggernauts is actually pretty decent. So this I would call a good kind of starter weapon for a heavy gunner. Next, we've got a Suppressor's Railway Rifle with that dreaded last round and damage resist while aiming. I don't like any of these stars, so I'm just going to move on. Next, we've got a Bloodied Gatling Laser with, Stealth Field again, and bash damage. So Bloodied is good. You're playing low health. This will do quite a bit more damage. Bash damage, that's not really what you're using these for, and Stealth Field is completely useless, so this is trash. Next, we've got a Gourmand's Cryolator with VATS hit chance and +1 perception. Gourmand's is a mid-tier effect, up to 24% bonus damage. VATS hit chance can be good if you're using this in VATS. +1 perception, I don't tend to love that. It can affect VATS accuracy, but to such a small degree, you're probably not going to notice this. Overall, I'm going to pass on it. Next is wow, okay, this is really good, and I'm sure somebody's going to want this. Probably put this on my low health character. Bloodied Bow with extra critical damage and reduced AP cost. AP cost isn't something I typically worry about on something like this, but if it's going to cost less, sure, I'll take it. Extra critical damage, that is a great star. These are really good sniper weapons, and so extra critical damage is super helpful. And Bloodied, obviously, if you're playing a low health archer, this is going to do insanely high damage. Next, we've got a Suppressor's Short Flamer with VATS hit chance and damage resist while aiming. Okay, yeah, this is all kinds of wrong. Suppressors, not all that useful, although with a Flamer, you're doing kind of constant attack, so the Suppressor's effect would be kind of there all the time. So I guess if you were really imaginative, you could use this as a support kind of role. Part of the problem with Flamers is that Holy Fire is just going to be better than anything you get, and unless it's a god roll, it just isn't worth using. And that fits here. You're not going to use it in VATS, at least I wouldn't. The AP cost is fairly high, so that VATS effect isn't that good, and damage while aiming, or damage resist while aiming, it's not really going to be enough that you'll notice, plus it kind of conflicts with the second star. So overall, this is a bit of a mess that I want to get rid of. We've got a Stalker's Gauss Rifle with bash damage and damage resist while aiming. Oh, man, we are getting really terrible third stars today. Stalkers, in theory, it's really good. This could be a really good, I mean, this would probably want to be one of my favorite effects if it actually worked in any kind of consistent way, which it doesn't. So because of that, I just avoid it. Bash damage, something like this I'm using as a sniper. I'm not interested in bashing. And that third star just isn't useful at all. So this is trash. Next, we've got a Medic's Pipe Pistol with critical damage and reload speed. Medic's is so niche, I don't really care for it. It's just the use case for it is so narrow. I just don't find it all that useful. Critical damage is good, reload speed is good, although pipe pistols tend to reload pretty quickly anyway, but something faster is good because they do have a relatively low AP cost. So putting that third star into reload speed is good. So second, third stars are good. The first star is not one I want. Next, we've got a Mutants short 10mm submachine gun with, no, not Mutants, Mutant Slayers. Replenish AP with each kill and reduced AP cost. Okay, so this could actually be good, except I mean, this could be something you're going to run West Tech with, maybe. Against Super Mutants, it would be really good, but against everything else, that first star would not even do anything. So I would rather not have it be enemy specific, but that second and third star actually go really well, especially on this. The AP cost is actually pretty high. So if you're going to get AP back every time you kill something, along with reduced AP cost on every shot, that's a good 1-2 combination. So it's too bad that first star is what it is. Otherwise, this could be really good. But we are starting to get some good second and third star effects. So if we could just put it all together, get 1, 2, 3 star combo, that would be great. Yeah. That's what we got. The downside of this is I actually got this exact same roll on a previous, on the same weapon on a previous Purveyor video. So yeah, I can tell you from experience, this is actually really good. I was able to solo Earl in about 5 minutes with this, and that was on a full health build. But yeah, anti-armor short assault rifle with extra critical damage and reduced AP cost. That is a perfect 3-star combination, and this is really good. But now I have 2. Next up, we're getting some good stuff. Okay, this is, there we go. There's our stealth field again. I was kind of missing it. Glad we got it back. Okay, third star's terrible. Critical damage is good. Damage against ghouls, you just don't need it. So this is basically a one star item, and we don't want it. Looks like we have 9 more to go. Quad ultrasight laser pistol with limb damage and reduced AP cost. Quad is fun. I mean, quad is always interesting. Reduced AP cost is good too. These have a relatively higher AP cost compared to ballistic weapons. Limb damage, not really thrilled with this, but I guess if you want to cripple a bunch of heads or cripple a bunch of legs, it could be good. This is actually interesting. Probably not for me, but it is pretty interesting, I think. Next up, we've got a Hunter's Radium Rifle with bullets explode and reduced weight. Bullets explode is good. Reduced weight, I guess, is okay. I'd rather have a third star that reduced AP or gave us crit refill, something like that. Damage against animals, you don't really need. So overall, this is a throwaway. By my count, this is the 6th video I've done at the Purveyor, and so far I haven't gotten any handmaids or any fixers. So there won't be a chance at a fixer on this character because I don't know the plan for this one, but handmaids on the table. Wouldn't mind getting at least one, even if it's terrible. Aristocrats Assault Rifle, damage while aiming, +1 perception. So if you wanted to play Aristocrats, which I really like, I think that's a good effect, especially for players that, kind of higher level players that have kind of run out of things to spend their caps on. So I think Aristocrats is a really good effect there. This would be a good out-of-VATS weapon if you want to do damage while aiming. Of course, in that case, perception isn't going to do anything for you. So this is kind of, yeah, this is kind of so-so. I'm not going to keep it. Yeah, I've gotten lots of assault rifles. No handmaids, though. Ah, there we go. There's our handmaid, finally. If it's, yeah, Assassin's handmaid. I mean, at least it's a handmaid. Not one I like, but at least it's a handmaid. Assassin's handmaid, so if you're interested in doing some PvP, I don't think you can VATS in PvP, though. So that 50% chance to, maybe you can. I don't do PvP, so I don't know. But VATS hit chance is a good thing, but you really don't need bonus damage against NPC humans in this game. And that third star, unless you are not wearing armor, isn't going to do anything for you. So we finally got our handmade, and it's going right into the script machine. We are down to, looks like the final 5. Gourmand's pump action shotgun with VATS hit chance and weapon breaks slower. So that third star on shotguns really isn't all that useful. I do have a shotgun character, and shotguns don't really seem to break. The rate seems to be so slow that it's not even noticeable. I think there's a bug, but for now, shotguns really don't break, so that third star won't help you at all. VATS hit chance, my favorite star on shotguns. Gourmand's, solid mid-tier effect. If you keep your hunger and thirst meters full, up to 24% damage. But I do have better options available to me, so I will not be holding on to this. Next up, we've got an Exterminator's lever action rifle with faster fire rate and a stealth field. Oh, I was hoping we get stealth field again. Okay, that third star is useless. Weapon speed, I don't know. I've never used a lever action that had faster fire rate, so I'm not really sure if that's going to do much. They do have a slow fire rate, so 25% more, 25% on top of slow is still going to be slow. So I'm just not sure you'll notice that. Exterminators, extra damage against bugs, not all that useful. So overall, this is a throwaway. All right, we've got 3 more, and here we go. 2-shot Gatling laser with VATS hit chance and stealth field again. Yeah, we are plagued by stealth field. So that third star is useless. Second star on something like this is useless. You're just not going to use it in VAT. So it's essentially a 1 star, and because it's 2-shot, you're going to have kind of poor accuracy. So I would not hold on to this at all. Final 2. Exterminators 10mm submachine gun with limb damage and movement speed while aiming. Exterminators, you don't need extra damage against bugs. Limb damage, yeah, I guess if you're looking to cripple, it's fine, but faster movement speed while aiming, I don't find useful at all, so this is a throwaway. And now we have the grand finale. Furious Gatling laser with bash damage and reduced weight. So reduced weight is good on these weapons. They are all heavy. Furious on something like this is actually pretty decent. The base damage is actually pretty low, so you're going to be hitting the target and getting maximum benefit probably a lot of the time. So that's actually a pretty good star. Bash damage, I don't think is all that useful. I don't think you're playing with this weapon because you want to bash things. So this will be scrip as well. So we did get some interesting items this time. This one is actually, this one's really good, but I already have the exact same role, so now I have 2 of them. But yeah, I can tell you from experience, it's actually what I'm running around with on my main character at the moment. This is actually really good. So things we don't have duplicates of, we've got this Junkie's Radium Rifle with bullets explode and bonus critical charge. So for a Junkie character, this is actually a really solid roll. I'll probably hold on to this or look for somebody who is a Junkie. And this Bloodied Bow, this is actually really good. You're playing a low health archer character. This is awesome. Bloodied with critical damage and reduced AP cost. So this is actually really good too. So we got 3 really good items today. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit one of the buttons down below, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Thank you very much.